Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Arlington Lamar High School for the North Crowley Panthers versus the Arlington Lamar Vikings. This is Radio Crowley ISD. I'm Brian Benton, joined by my partner tonight, Coach Billy Jack McLaughlin. And we've got a second matchup between the Panthers and the Vikings tonight. In the first matchup, the Panthers ran out to a 76-31 victory at North Crowley. Panthers come in tonight's game with a 20-6 overall record and a 7-0 record in district play. Arlington Lamar has been struggling a little bit. They're at 5-16, but they are 4-3 in the district. So, Billy Jack, what can we look forward to from the Vikings tonight?
Well, Brian, tonight the one thing you want to battle for North Crowley is the letdown. You look across there, you think, okay, we beat them last time by 40. You don't want the team to come into what's referred to as a trap game. You're playing at Lamar. You're really kind of looking ahead because you think you have a couple of weak opponents coming up. Lamar's not a bad basketball team. They're not real big. DeQuan Thomas, at 6-foot senior, their leading scorer. He likes to shoot the three, but he prefers to attack the basket off the bounce. They have a 6'3", 6'4", junior and senior, respectively. That'll play inside. Lamar they'll play some man-to-man. They try and jump and trap the ball. They will jump into a zone. They'll mix it up a little bit, and I expect Lamar to try to slow it down, try to keep us at a pace that we don't want to play, and try to stay in the game with us, especially after the last game beating us by 40.
All right, we're going to pause here for our national anthem. Back, and let's run through the starting lineups for both teams real quick. Starting out for the Vikings, they're going to go with 6-foot senior guard DeQuan Thomas, 6-foot junior guard Brandon Childs, 6-foot 3-inch junior forward Jalen Stern, 6-foot 4-inch senior Nick Lira, and 6-foot junior Donnell Johnson. The Panthers going with their regular starting lineup: 5'11" senior guard Jalen McLeod, 6'4" 4-inch senior forward Kevin Simmons, 6'5" 5-inch senior guard Nick Boone, 5' 8" senior guard Torrance Neal, and 6' 8" senior post Lawrence Odiers. And I believe, Billy Jack, you, before we left for the anthem, you were talking to us about how the Panthers might be able to avoid some complacency coming off that 40-point win.
Exactly. Lamar's going to have to play a smart game. They're going to have to slow the ball down, take the air out of it, limit possessions for the Panthers, because we want to push the ball up and down the floor. We want to get them playing at the tempo that we want to play, our kind of basketball. And if Lamar's smart, they're going to try to do just the opposite. They're going to try to slow it down, be deliberate with their ball control and their passing, slow everything down so that they keep the score less than 70 for sure.
All right, well, that sounds like a plan. We'll see who can execute the best tonight. And if you had to sum it up in one key for the Panthers, what's their most important job tonight?
Just play with intensity. Play at a level that we're used to playing at. Don't have a letdown. Play with intensity. Right now, starting the second half of the season, it's all about getting ready for that second season. That's the playoffs. And of course, you want to win the district, and we're going to do that. doggone it, we're going to win the district. What we have to do is prepare ourselves every game to get better. So no letdowns, play with some intensity, and just get after it.
Well, and the Panthers, of course, would like to extend their streak. They are on a roll, 78 consecutive district victories, and they'd like to turn that into 79 tonight here in the rematch against the Vikings. Panthers wearing their away blues with black numbers and white trim. The Vikings going in their home whites with navy trim. ODAs will jump center with Stern. Figuring out where everybody wants to stand for this one.
Pretty much all on the defensive side for Lamar.
Jumped early on that ball. Nobody able to get it. We'll try that one again. And ODAs gets it. The Panthers control the tap. Torrance Neal will bring it across half court. The Vikings in a man-to-man. Panthers going with a 1-4 high set. Entry pass goes to ODAs at the elbow. He kicks back out to Neal on the right wing. Neal dribbles up to the top of the key, kicks it left wing to McLeod. McLeod with the entry pass into ODAs, takes a dribble, gets the hook up and in. Panthers off to a 2-0 lead.
And ODAs should have a lot of chances at that. They cannot match us with ODAs in the middle of the size. There's a good 6 inches difference.
Childs dribbling out front. Kevin Simmons knocks it away, and he comes up with the loose ball for the steal. Simmons headed the other direction. We've got a foul. A little bit of talking afterwards. Looked like Kevin Simmons and Daquan Thomas getting into a little bit. Cooler heads have prevailed. We'll see what the foul call is.
Yeah, Daquan's kind of showing that, hey, this is our floor. We're not afraid of you.
Absolutely. That call goes against Thomas. That's his first personal foul. Team's first. 7:20 to go here in the first quarter. It's North Crowley 2, Arlington Lamar 0. Panthers inbounding from close to the timeline. Neal gets it and dribbles it across half court. Over to Simmons on the left wing. Simmons up to top of the key to Boone, who fumbles but gets it back. Handoff to McLeod at the high right corner. McLeod enters the lane from the top, gets a nice dish over to ODAs, whose shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings, but ODAs steals it and puts it right back in. Strong work out of ODAs.
Big work again. Right now, Lamar early, of course, but they just don't have an answer for big ODAs inside. He'll get a plethora of chances like that to score.
That rebound pulled down by Lyra, but unable to hold on to it as ODAs just took it away. Vikings inbound full court. Thomas gets behind the Panthers, dribbles down, kicks it right corner to Stern. Stern hands off to Johnson. Johnson dribbles back up towards the center circle. Tries to get the pass over to Childs. Childs now in the high left corner. He's working against Boone. Kicks to the left corner to Donnell Johnson, whose three-point attempt no good. Hits the top of the backboard out of bounds. It'll be Panther ball. 4-0 North Crowley. 6:35 to go in the first quarter.
You can see the intensity a little more for Blue. Blue's up defensively a little tighter than Lamar. Lamar's got that little sagging defense. They're on the ball, but everybody else is trying to stay inside to help in the perimeter because they're just outsized.
A lot easier to move your offense when you're feeling comfortable on the ball. Simmons from the top of the key, kicks back right side to Boone. Boone on the right wing. Hand off to McLeod on the right wing. McLeod stops and pops from three. He doesn't draw iron. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Vikings.
Of course, the crowd hollers air ball, but they don't want Jalen to get hot from there because it'll be a long night for Lamar if he does.
No doubt about it. Donnell Johnson takes the inbounds pass, and he'll bring it up. He works against Kevin Simmons. Here come the Panthers with their trap. They get it to the center to Lyra. Lyra right high corner to Thomas. Thomas now on the right wing, works against McLeod. Thomas comes down the lane. Simmons came over and got in the way. Correction, that was Boone that stepped in front. Thought he might get the charge out of it, but they're going to call him for the foul.
That's not a bad call. A little movement. He was still moving, trying to step in front, but it's a good job trying to draw the charge.
Boone's first personal. Team first. We have just under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and the Vikings only able to get up one shot. Now Thomas in the lane, able to knock down. Correction, that was Donnell Johnson able to knock it down in the lane. 4-2 Panthers with 5:37 to go. Torrance Neal brings it up against Johnson. Kicks left corner to Simmons. Simmons with a little turnaround, gets to the elbow. His shot blocked by Lear, but there's Odiace with the board and the follow. He's got 6. The Panthers have 6. Odiace is going to be going to the line for 1.
Watch, too. Lamar will try and jump that dribble. They kind of jumped the wing there to double-team the ball. Got rid of it real quick, but that's what they'll try to do.
Odiace struggled a little bit from the free throw line, just 55% on the air, but he seems to be able to knock it down when it matters most. And he gets that one. 3-point play the old-fashioned way for Odiace. He's got 7. 7-2 North Crowley with 5:21 to go in the first quarter. Donnell Johnson brings it up, facing into that trap. Gets it across half court to Lyra. Lyra kicks it right side to Childs. Childs shot up and good. 7-4. Vikings finally able to get past that Panther pressure.
A little slow on rotation coming back. Again, you want to stay with good intensity.
Neal at the right wing. Penetrates into the lane, kicks out to Boone behind the three-point line. Back up to Neal on the near the top of the circle. Neal dribbles, steps back in at the free throw line, misses the shot. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings. Thomas takes it the length of the court but misses the layup. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll still belong to Lamar.
We got a break there. I'm sure Coach Brackle doesn't like to see that. He took the ball, ran past 5 blue shirts. We got to hustle back defensively, not stand and watch.
Childs inbounds all the way up to half court to Thomas. Thomas working against McLeod. Gets into the lane. And once again, they're going to get Boone for the foul.
Now, that time looked like Boone had his feet planted. That's a little questionable.
That's his second personal foul for Boone. Team's second foul.
Yeah, I mentioned this before, Brian. You get frustrated as a coach because it's hard enough to get these kids to step in front of somebody coming full speed, take a charge. And when a kid does that, you'd like to reward him with the charge, reward him with drawing the foul.
First free throw no good for Thomas. Rod Young checking into the game for the Panthers as Boone takes a seat with those 2 fouls. 4:38 to go here in the first quarter. It's North Crowley 7, Arlington Lamar 4, with Thomas at the line shooting 1. And the second free throw is good for Thomas. Neal inbounds to Simmons, back to Neal under the basket. He'll bring it full court. Vikings picking up about 3 quarters, but not with a whole lot of pressure. Pass goes left wing to Rod Young. Young picks up his dribble. He finds Simmons at the top of the key. Simmons penetrates, kicks back out to Neal, left corner. Takes a couple of dribbles and gets his shot up, but no good. Rebound pulled down by Thomas. Childs to Stern, whose shot is no good, but there's Childs for the rebound. Looks like the Vikings picking up their intensity a little bit, running the floor, outrunning the Panthers.
Coach Brackle's called a timeout here. He's a little frustrated with the officials, but also a little bit with shot selection. I don't mind seeing you shoot a 3, but doggone it, we've got the advantage size-wise with Odiace inside. Work the basketball around, get the basketball into Big Odiace, and let him do his work.
After some struggles from the field early for the Vikings, they're now 3 of 6 from the field, and they've really been crashing the boards on the offensive end. So some work to do there for the Panthers.
What you worry about in a game like this as a coach, Brian, is you worry that the kids get in the mindset, I'm going to get mine. So, they know that they should beat the Vikings. They know that they beat them before by 40. So now it's about, get into team rhythm. Think team, don't think about getting your points first.
Panthers just 3 of 8 from the field. They've got Caleb Banks into the game now. He'll bring it across. He works against Johnson. Banks to Odiace, the high elbow. To Banks, dribbles to the top of the key, kicks right corner to McLeod. McLeod dribbles in, passes off to Odiace. Odiace goes up strong, count the basket. He's got 9. He's really been the force for the Panthers early in this game.
That's it exactly. Back to Big Odiace, you'll get some points.
Nice pass there. Donnell Johnson across the lane to Jalen Stern, who lays it in. It's 9-9.
I'll say it again. You got to hustle back. You can't leave that backside wide open, and right now the Panthers are not hustling back defensively.
Caleb Banks on the right wing. Hands off to Young on the right wing. Kicks